What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. Guys, it's late on Monday, December the 4th, and I had to give you guys my take on the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer that has finally been leaked and now released officially by Rockstar. This has got so much nostalgia packed into it for me that I'm like bursting at the seams. So I wanted to give you guys my reaction on what I'm seeing here from the trailer, give you guys some context as to why I love it so much and where that love came from. So I hope you'll stick around. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and let's get into it.
Oh, pardon me, but it's Ben
Thomas.
Showtime. Here we go.
Okay, everybody, so welcome back. So I had to give you guys my take on Grand Theft Auto trailer that came out yesterday for Grand Theft Auto 6, because for me, it represents such a huge nostalgic piece of my gaming life, my friendships, different experiences that I've had overall, and it means a lot to me to see that Grand Theft Auto 6 is finally being teased, because for a long time I honestly didn't think we'd ever see it. With the success of Grand Theft Auto 5, you think about it, easily one of the most successful games of all time. But not even just the game itself, not just the story mode, but that online component. I've now played Grand Theft Auto 5 from 2012, 2013 till now, till this very day. I've played it on the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 5. It has given me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of entertainment. In fact, I wanted to share my profile with you guys because here you can see on the left, GTA Online. I ended up reaching just recently level 386. That means that I've now had a total playtime in this game of 55 days, 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 31 seconds. That's over 1,300 hours of game time I've put into this. Now, one of the reasons was I moved to Calgary about 7 years ago, and when I moved here, that was a way that I stayed connected with friends, the online component, right? So many people play Call of Duty, so many people play other games that are online. For me and my buddies, it was always Grand Theft Auto 5, because you could just mess around, do missions, do bank heists. We were able to take advantage of the Bogdan glitch at one point. If you know what that is, you know that means that you can make some serious cash in the game. It looks like my total earnings, overall income, was 182 million in the time that I've played. I never purchased any shark cards. I never had to, because I was able to exploit that glitch a little bit, but also just straight grinding in the game. I remember when the game started, the most expensive car was the Adder, and it was $1 million, and it meant to look like the Bugatti. And I remember thinking, how the hell am I ever going to make $1 million in this game? At the time, survival missions were the ones that paid out the best, and you got about $20,000, I think, if you came in first place, or if you completed the survival, basically. But that survival would take 30 to 40 minutes. So at 20k a pop, you can imagine, even just for our first million that we had to grind up to, it was insane. Now, one of my favorite parts of the Grand Theft Auto 5 online game was also some of the customization around your crew logo. I liked that I was able to join the Bat crew. Let me see if I can show you guys here. And I don't see it here. Essentially, I was able to take a Batman symbol and put it right onto the side of my vehicles, right onto the motorcycle that I had. It meant that I was able to make whole garages dedicated to what looked like just Batman vehicles specifically. Now, this is long before we got vehicles that kind of now resemble Bat vehicles, of course, which now exists in the game. But it's amazing to me how many years of fun I've gotten out of this, and how many free updates we've got from Rockstar. You think about all of the downloadable content that exists for games nowadays, how often microtransactions are just kind of commonplace in games, and it pisses me off, because to me, if you want me to keep playing your game, you got to give me a reason to come back. And I've always felt that Grand Theft Auto 5 did that very, very well. Grand Theft Auto 4 for me was great. I remember standing in line at the midnight release of that game, getting it home, putting it in the machine, 2 hours of updates, which means I couldn't even play it from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. And I was up all night with my friend. Grand Theft Auto 3 was revolutionary, and for me, Vice City was the game though. That was the game. I really loved San Andreas. Vice City was actually my favorite of all of them, even over Grand Theft Auto 5. As much time as I've put into Grand Theft Auto 5, I absolutely have to say that Vice City was the one that did it for me. Now, one of the coolest things that I'm seeing in this game trailer is this looks like it's set in Florida, which means we're making a return essentially to Vice City. And some of the trailer elements I've seen here look like it's directly from the game, and I'm absolutely loving that. So guys, let's take a look here at the trailer first, and then we will kind of go through it piece by piece. Now I'm going to keep the game sound out because I don't want a copyright claim. Look at the sky in this right now. One of my favorite parts of Grand Theft Auto 5 was how beautiful the skyline was and how dynamic it could be. This already, just from the very first shot, look at the amount of cars that are on the ground, the colorations in the sky, the plane, the different style of clouds. It looks really good. The birds. Now, clearly this is one of our main characters. This looks like this may be an opportunity for a bit of a co-op mission, right? You're seeing this young lady. She clearly has an ankle monitor on, so she's had some run-ins with the law, it looks like. Look how full the beach is here. You know, I think back to my Vice City days. When you're driving along the beach, you know, there's pop-up characters constantly, right? With the rendering of the game. Even in some of the newest modes, some of the newest updates that they've given us over the years, you still get some of that pop in. I will be curious to see how well the PS5 does, or Xbox or PC when it eventually comes out for PC. I'll be curious to see how well the game renders, how quickly we see areas around us populate, or will there be less of that? Because with the amount of character models on the beach right here that you can see, it's going to be an epic game for the PS5 to run. The environments also look insanely crisp. Now, again, this is some game trailer footage. This isn't gameplay footage quite yet, or at least from what we can tell. But I think it looks really, really good. I love the mist. I love, again, the different temperatures and the lighting. Let's keep more here. Look at the birds. This blows me away. Again, I was just talking about the Vice City beach. When you're driving along that beach, every character, for the most part, there's like 5 different character models, maybe even less. They're always the same people, right? They're literally the same character models constantly. Look at the amount of different body types that we're seeing here with Grand Theft Auto 6. I think this is very impressive. The water looks really, really good. I love the different character models that we're seeing, even just in different races. I really am liking what I'm seeing here in terms of the different like textures on everything. Look at the tattoos on these guys. That looks really cool. I wonder just how much clothing is going to be available. The other thing that I'm noticing is that obviously Grand Theft Auto 5 was a pretty modern interpretation of Los Santos. This looks like it's present day. Definitely for the most part. I'm noticing that with a few things, both in the character models, some of the outfit styles that I'm seeing here. This just, like the shot overhead here is just insanely beautiful. The vehicles are definitely modern day interpretations. I see a Dodge Challenger in there and a couple other different cars. Now obviously Grand Theft Auto is known for basically the car model and just changing the name of it. I always thought that was creative. It's always felt like a bit of a miss to me that car companies didn't want their actual names in the game, but obviously there'd be a cost associated with that, and with the sheer amount of vehicles that just exist in the world, and how many we've even seen just from the Grand Theft Auto Online days, maybe that's just not fathomable. Like, maybe that would just be too insane of a cost for Rockstar to take on. So I think making the car models look the way they do, and creatively changing the name, is a pretty smart workaround, I gotta say. Now actually, before we move on to the next piece here, I want to take a look because I just noticed this. That in the background, right there, right here in the back right, it looks like that's the Ocean View Hotel, which is right on the main strip of Vice City. It's actually the very first place that you can do a save point in Vice City. I love to see that the Ocean View Hotel is making a return here to this Grand Theft Auto 6 game. It literally warms my heart to see it. Now, you guys will remember how dead the street of Vice City was. Look at the amount of cars and traffic here, the amount of populated plants and vegetation. There's homeless folks there, different character models and different outfits. The colors are amazing. Like, I am really impressed so far by this, I'm not gonna lie. I have found that dance clubs aren't always the most fun in some of these games, but this club looks like it's a pretty happening place. I'll be curious to see what they're like, especially if we're looking at the clubs in Florida. I think that's really fun. Now, the other piece that I want to take away here is the flight, the sheer size of what the map looks like it could be. What I was hoping from Grand Theft Auto 6 was that you'd actually potentially be able to get into a plane and fly from a place like Vice City to San Andreas and around further. I wonder if in the future, or even with this game, maybe they just haven't shown it yet, you'll be able to do that. You know, charter a flight and actually go to a different city altogether. Because flying is one of my favorite parts of the game. The other favorite part of the game that I've always had in Grand Theft Auto 5 and even some of the previous versions was different weather. We've talked a little bit about the lighting, we've talked a little bit about how the skies look a little different here, but this is clearly a clear day, for example, here in Grand Theft Auto 6, whereas Florida has some pretty aggressive weather just as a place. And I'll be curious to see if we get maybe like some hurricane action or at least some really torrential downpours. I think that would be really cool because Florida honestly has some pretty volatile weather. I feel like it would be a really cool aspect of the game if they amped that up a little bit in Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, also, I love seeing animals. On the beach, I saw a little dog. Here, I'm obviously seeing an alligator. I'll be curious to see if you can own a pet in the game. That sounds like it could be fun, you know, having your little companion roam the streets with you or ride in the cars with you. That could be really cool. Or just having animals that you can either ride or fight off might be really cool. Twerking is interesting, but I gotta say, that almost looks like a real person on the top of that car. Gotta love the ass tattoo that you see there as well. And the bounce, you know, you gotta respect the bounce. The other thing is that obviously, well, like I mentioned earlier, this is clearly a modern interpretation of the world in Grand Theft Auto. Seeing what looks like Twitch, seeing what looks like maybe some YouTube shorts or Instagram reels, I think that's kind of fun. I'll be curious to see how they factor that into the game. Will that be missions, or will it be something that you can literally just pull out your phone and record, right? Can you become an influencer in this game? That'd be interesting. This looks really cool. I don't know if this would be a mission or if this type of racing, street racing event is just kind of something you might encounter in the world as you're driving around. That's really neat. I like the dust that's getting kicked up. Look at the alligator here, or crocodile. Forgive me if I'm using the wrong animal. You guys might know better than me. You can let me know. But roaming into a store like this, the store also looks really fleshed out. There's places to sit, different food counters, lottery machine there. Looks pretty nice. Not just that average background that you normally see. Going back to weather here, because this looks a little bit like what I'm hoping for. Let's go back just a bit here. This looks like what I'm looking for. Look at the ominous clouds in the background, the amount of water on the ground. Clearly a rainstorm has just happened. I want to know, are we going to get like monsoon season? You know, like, oh my God, look at that guy in his underwear. FloridaMan.com, right? Wearing nothing but a thong, watering his grass. You'll love to see it. But again, just the character model is really cool. The body looks very unique, right? So many different shapes and sizes in the game, which excites the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. It's going to feel, I think, like a fully fleshed out universe. Muddy areas, muddy terrain. Looks like you can have some fun there in the mud pits driving around or just fucking around. That's really cool. I like to see that a lot. Some of these characters literally look like real people. Like this lady kind of looks a little bit like my friend's mom. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little strange actually. But in that live feed, again, is this your character becoming an influencer? Can you become rich in the game? Is that a way that you can earn income? I'd be curious about that. These chases are notoriously one of my favorite parts of Grand Theft Auto games to begin with. It's actually something that even back when it was an overhead game with Grand Theft Auto was my favorite part, trying to get away from the cops, right? I feel like GTA 4 did a great job of getting that even more improved over San Andreas. GTA 5 did an incredible job. You actually felt like you could get away from the cops. I never loved in Vice City where you had to get the floating cop badge in order to lose the cops. I never really loved that. I like GTA 5 in the way that you can lose the cops with some stylish driving. That is really, really cool. I'm excited to see how they've amped that up. Some of the texturing on the skin blows me away as well. Like that guy that we just saw there has a crazy amount of freckles. Look at the carnage on the road here. That's insane. The tattoos in the face, insane. And looks like this is maybe from a news channel. Really cool. I love getting a chance to see that we're going to get biker gangs again. If you see over the top left shoulder here, the Pibweiser is a beer that's like kind of transitioned through most of the games from my recollection. If you're talking beer in Grand Theft Auto, it's usually Pibweiser. So that's pretty cool just to have that highlighted over the shoulder there, the bags of chips and everything, liquor store clearly that they're knocking off here. I think that's pretty fun. A little Dukes of Hazzard style action there, you love to see it. And again, like you can see the freckling on her skin. Hair texturing looks really beautiful. I like the way that it moves. Look at the chest hair on this dude. That to me is really impressive. It's a small win, right? I never played Grand Theft Auto for chest hair, but the fact that it's that detailed and that like fuzzy looking, like she literally looks like she's running her fingers through it. That's mind-blowing to me. The duo here. These are, I think, are going to be our main characters, and I'm really excited to see their dynamic together in the game and what ends up happening here. Grand Theft Auto 6. This is literally just a teaser trailer. We're not getting a whole lot out of it other than some really cool visual noise. But honestly, Grand Theft Auto 5 hasn't disappointed me in years. I cannot imagine Grand Theft Auto 6 will disappoint me or anybody watching this video. I think the biggest thing that I'm most let down by with this gameplay trailer is that. Coming in 2025. Well, we're at the tail end of 2023 right now, obviously. It's, Monday, December the 4th, 2 in the morning, right? It's gonna be a while before we actually see this game. But I'm hoping that now that they've shown us these teasers and it's got the juices flowing for everybody, that they're gonna give us a whole lot more in terms of what we can expect from this game slowly over the next year until we get to see it. It doesn't say late 2025, maybe this is early 2025. Cross your fingers. The other thing is I looked back when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, the story mode was available for about a month before the online mode came out. So I'm not expecting online compatibility right away. I think they'll give us some time to play the main story first, and then we'll likely see that online component come out shortly thereafter. If they release it at the same time though, I think that would be a bonus. But one of the ways that I really fell in love with Grand Theft Auto 5 was the story. It made me want to play more, and then when the online component came out, that's what kept me playing for a decade. Over 1,320 hours I put into that game. It's almost heartbreaking that my character level likely won't transfer over. I'm gonna have to remake them, but that's okay. I'm excited. Guys, I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat below. Are you excited about this as much as I am? Was there anything in the trailer there that you noticed that maybe I missed? Something that really stands out to you as being an exciting component of the game that you're looking forward to? Also, is this the game that's going to make you potentially get the next version of the system? Maybe you're still in the PS4. Is this going to be the game that gets you over to the PS5 or the Xbox One? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. But if you guys liked the video, hit the like button for me, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.